Hello, brave babes. So I wanted to share this message with you because it was coming through. Um, there was recently, I listened to a lot of educational things and a lot of workshops and things like that. Anyway, one of the things I heard recently, which really resonates with me, is the workshop you are living is the workshop you'll be giving. Now, what does that mean? So for some of you, welcome. For some of you, you may not actually be teaching workshops, right? At the end of the day, that's okay. But the point of this, the whole premise for what this quote means is something I truly believe. I believe that there is a purpose for your life. I believe that the things you have experienced, the things you have gone through, the challenges you have overcome are meant to guide you, to teach you, and then to help you go out and to share what you've learned with others. I know this is definitely the experience I've had in my life. For those of you who maybe don't know me or aren't a little familiar with my story, back in my early 20s, I went through sexual trauma and I ended up gaining 100 pounds over the course of a year. And because of that, I went on for the next decade, just kind of riding the wave, right? Kind of getting through life as if nothing was wrong. Everything is fine. I'm fine. I pushed my feelings down. I didn't want to remember that, experience that. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to heal it. I just was really kind of oblivious to what had really, how I was coping, if you will. And because of that, because of the weight I had gained and all of that, I was really not loving myself nor loving my body. I kind of was treating my body like a garbage disposal, just kind of putting whatever I felt like in it. I now know my body was just trying to protect me. That's what additional weight is. It's a protection mechanism. It's helping us to, feel safe. And so that's really what was going on, and I didn't recognize it at the time. But instead, I was kind of mad at myself and mad at my body. And so I went on like that for a good, I think it was about 12 years, until about 6 years ago, I finally went and I kind of hit my rock bottom with it, if you will. And I decided it was time to make myself a priority. And I started really working on healing what I had been through and healing my experiences. And through that, more things came up. However, I worked through them and I was able to process them and able to feel them and experience them, and to heal the trauma that I had gone through. And that has opened up so many opportunities and there's been so many gifts that have come from that, because I have not only opened up to my spiritual gifts, but I've also just kind of intuitively started to clear my system, if you will, and to be able to heal and love myself. I started to naturally kind of move away from eating processed foods, and I've naturally kind of shed I've shed about close to 50 pounds now. And it's just been like a natural progression. And the more that I practiced loving myself, the more I practiced self-acceptance and really just learning to be okay where I was at, the more I was able to heal myself. And through these experiences and through what I've learned, and there's been so much more, I'm now able to help others, and that's what I do for my clients. I help them to learn to love and accept themselves just as they are, and then because of that process, and because of that experience, they're now able to grow and to feel confident in the skin they're in, and to feel like it's not about the weight, and it's not about being a certain size, and they can just love and accept themselves and really live more. Because when we're so obsessed with what the weight is, or we're so obsessed with what our size is, or looking perfect, or whatever, we're not actually living, and we really hold ourselves back from experiencing all of life and what it has to offer. And I was definitely doing that. I did that to myself for over a decade. And so it's something I now help others with, and it's something I help them overcome. And then the weight loss becomes a natural part of that, because they have now learned to love and accept themselves. And so they make more loving choices, and they want to move their bodies, and it becomes just a natural part of kind of the work that we do together. So my point being that I went through all those experiences, and I learned to heal myself and heal from trauma. And now I've taken that and I go out and I do the same for others, and I help others heal. And I help them through coaching, and I help them through photography, and it's the group that you're in here now, and it's the Selflove Club, and it's all these things that I've created have come from my own experience, as well as my own training. I'm also a certified fearless living coach, so I have the training to back it up, and I also have the experience of just living and having gone through it. And so I just thought this was such a great quote, because it's so true. Like, the things that you have experienced and the things you have gone through, if you're struggling to know like what your purpose is, and you're struggling to know like, why am I here and what am I supposed to create, that is part of it. That is part of knowing what your purpose is. Whatever you have been through, whatever challenges you have overcome, there's a gift in that. And that it's not always easy to see all the time. And that's not to dismiss your pain. That's not to dismiss what you've been through. But I am here to tell you that whatever you have been through, whatever challenges you have overcome, are part of the puzzle of what your purpose is, what you're here to help with, what you're here to serve with. I believe that all of us have an opportunity, if we so choose, to kind of put our flag in the sand and say like, okay, this little corner of the world, this is what I'm going to take a stand on, and this is what I'm going to help people with. I'm going to help kids with. I'm going to help men with. I'm going to help women with. Whatever that thing is for you, it's like we put our stake in the sand and we say like, this is what I'm here to do, and this is the work that I'm meant to help people with. And so that's what I have done in choosing to help women and help them really end those feelings of I want to help women end those feelings of not enough, and have them let go of not feeling enough in their bodies, in their minds, in their hearts, in their souls, and to claim who they are and claim it powerfully, and to help them then go out and express their gifts out into the world. Because I think when we don't feel enough, when we don't feel confident in who we are, we hold ourselves back and we keep ourselves small. And that is not what you're here to do. You are not here to play small. You are not here to hide and to hold yourself back in any kind of way, shape, or form. But that's what we do when we don't feel like we're enough. And I'm here to tell you, you are enough. You're enough here in this moment, but some things have gotten in the way, right, of you knowing that. Like, your soul knows that, but sometimes things have gotten in the way and have kind of come in, and the stories that we tell ourselves have told us or made up that belief that we're not enough. So I'm here to tell you, you are enough. And obviously, if you need support in that area, I'm here for you. So definitely reach out and we can talk about it. But know that whatever it is you have been through, know whatever it is you are going through, like, even if it's painful now, there is a point and there is a purpose, and you are here to share what you've learned with others. You are here to help shift things for others based on what you have experienced and what you have learned. So if you're struggling with your purpose and you don't know quite what it is, don't worry. You will learn what that thing is. You just have to keep listening and trusting. And if, again, you need support, reach out. Let me know. I can help with that. But it's really about you understanding that you are here for a reason. You have experienced the things you have for a reason, and there's something deeper within you. There's something within you that's calling you towards something. It's calling you towards that mission. So know that if you've been feeling those nudges, I'm like losing my clothes here. If you've been feeling those nudges and you've been feeling a pull towards something bigger than you, know that that's part of it. And if you need that little hint, you can kind of take a look at, okay, what have you experienced and what have you overcome that you can now go out and help others with? And here's another little piece that I think is really important to know. If you are not happy in your life, it's time to get out and start serving. It's time to get out and start helping. When we serve other people, when we help other people, that's when we feel at our best. That's when we feel lit up. That's when we feel excited. But it's got to also be in alignment with who you are and what you want to do, what excites you. Because if you're just helping to help, or if you have people-pleasing tendencies, hello, my name is Lori, I'm a recovering people-pleaser, it doesn't work. It's not in alignment, it doesn't work. So you've got to truly give from a place that really excites you, really that lights you up, and you will have the answers. You will find a way. But connect to yourself and figure out, does this really excite me? Does this really light you up? And then go forward knowing that whatever is playing out in your life is things you will help others with as you go. There's a lot I can help people with because I've experienced a lot. And not just like overcoming trauma, but also like I was a teenage mom, and I was, I've been through marriage, I've been through divorce, I've let go of relationships that don't serve me. I have, called in relationships that are very serving and wonderful. And it's all possible, and it's all happening for you. And you may not be able to, it may not feel like it now, but know that there is a point and there is a purpose. And part of the purpose in it is the purpose in which you'll be serving in and you'll be helping others in. So I wanted to share that today to give you some hope, to give you some calm, and to give you some understanding of why you may be experiencing or going through the things that you're going through. And I know it's not easy. It's not an easy place to be. It's not an easy place to, it's not always easy, right? And sometimes it can be darn right, like painful. But know that you will get through it. And as Rumi says, it's the darkness is where the wound is, the area in which the light can enter. So anytime we look at our darker places or places that feel darker, anytime we actually look at them and deal with them, that's when they no longer have power over us, because we can shed some light on it and we can heal it and we can bring it to the surface and know that it doesn't have the same power over us. Like, I can talk about the things I've been through because they no longer own me. There was a time I couldn't talk to you about it without, just sobbing or breaking down. But I can talk about these things because they no longer have power over me. I now have an understanding and a bigger, higher perspective of the purpose of all of it. And you can get there too. So just know that this too shall pass. And no matter what you're going through, it is part of your bigger purpose. So know that, love, and know that it's serving you. Even if you can't see it right now, it will, I promise you, it will serve you in the future. And so I really recommend, if you're struggling with wherever you're at right now, use things like journaling as a way to really just get out your emotions or your feelings. I also love I'll do recordings on my phone, and I recorded my whole divorce. I recorded the process of up until I left, I recorded, during and after, and I continue to. I have an audio journal of everything that I've experienced for the last probably 3 years, because I've come to understand and to know that once you've processed things, once you've moved through things, you kind of forget how it felt, and you kind of forgot where you're at. And so part of the reason I do this is not because I like to torture myself, believe it or not, but it's actually because I like to, one, refer back to it in case there's something that I'm not remembering correctly or that I want to share with like you guys. And I also do it, it helps me to see how far I've come and how much I've grown. And a lot of times, sorry, there's ambulance of some sort going by. Maybe it's a fire truck. I don't know. Hopefully everybody's okay. Okay. So, I use it as a way to refer back to what I've gone through and what I've been through for several reasons. And part of that is to celebrate my own growth and my own, how far I've come, because so often we focus on what we're not doing right and we're not doing well, instead of really focusing on like, let's celebrate the shit out of the fact that like, I got through that and I overcame that, and like how amazing and resilient I am, and how amazing is it that I'm now doing XYZ. Like, we don't focus enough on the things we do really well. And so part of the reason I keep like an audio journal is because I really feel it's important to look at how far you've come and look at, what were my thoughts and beliefs then? What was I really experiencing at that time? Because now I don't even remember. I mean, I remember, bits and pieces and little details, here and there, but like, I don't remember entirely, like, if I think even back 10 years ago, who I was then, who I am now, I was very different than I am now. And that's a good thing. Like, we want to keep growing. We want to keep, expanding who we are and who we're becoming. And so sometimes I like to like just listen back to like, oh, what was that sweet girl, like, what was she going through at that time? And oh my gosh, like, look at how amazing and how much we've grown, right? And so it's like in a way of honoring and loving those pieces and those parts of yourself that you may not remember 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And so it's a great way to process and to really help you kind of move through emotions and move through feelings. And I encourage you so strongly to do that. Let yourself feel your emotions and cry. Let yourself cry. Let yourself feel the sadness. Because guess what? Feelings, emotions, they only last a few minutes at the most if you just let them come through. And then you can say, okay, I felt that fully, and now what do I want to do next, right? It's like, let yourself go there. Don't wallow in it. Don't stay in it forever, but like, how can I move through it now? Because anytime we try to, not feel something, shove it away, I don't want to look at it, I don't want to, I used to do that all the time. I did that with drinking. I did that if I like was uncomfortable or I didn't want to feel something, I would numb out with drinking or smoking, or food was a big one for me. Like, that's how I coped, and it was just because I didn't want to feel the feelings. Now I cry all the time and it's great because I know, one, those emotions are not going to kill me. And I know that when I do let myself go there and I let myself feel it, that I no longer have to keep it all in. And that energy, I feel like a lot of anxiety and a lot of these feelings that get like trapped are just like energy that has nowhere to go. And it hasn't been able to like get out and be processed and be filtered. And I'm not suggesting you put it out onto people, right? That's not healthy. Like, you don't want to just like take out your rage on people, right? But There's nothing wrong with anger. And if you need to hit a pillow or to just scream into a pillow or whatever, or scream outside or whatever you need to do without totally freaking out the neighbors, do it. Like, let yourself feel, please. And once you're done and you get that energy out, it can feel so much freer, so much. I feel like this is not where the video I had intended to go, but I feel like we need to go there for whatever reason. So if you're listening and you're here right now, know that this is probably for you. So just allow yourself to feel. Like, I promise you, you won't die from feeling. And a lot of times when we keep trying to shove down feelings and shove down emotions and not cope with it, it can really do some damage long term. Like, I've seen it firsthand, and I've experienced it firsthand. And when we don't allow ourselves to fully feel and fully express ourselves, it becomes like it's trapped energy in the body, and it creates a lot of disease. And disease, when you break it down, means dis-ease in the body. And I'm actually seeing this right now with my dad. I love him to death, but I'm seeing all the years of not coping and not feeling and just trying to like push and stress and like move forward and bulldoze through. It's like now all caught up with him, and I really feel like we're at a place now where it's maybe too late, and it's not, going to, there's nowhere else to go now, I feel like. And so it's really hitting close to home right now, just seeing how years of not allowing himself to feel and allowing himself to go there has kind of manifested into a lot of issues in himself and in his body. And he's actually in the hospital right now as we speak. And I really am, I gotta admit, like, it's really hard sometimes being very intuitive, and sometimes I have a difficult time seeing it for myself because I'm so close to it. But I feel like right now I'm getting a lot of guidance coming through around him, because I feel like it's preparing me for what's to come. And I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that that's not the case. But I also think that he may not be here much longer, which is not an easy thing to experience and to know, and to have to kind of hold it all myself. Thank you for the love. But there too, I know that no matter what happens, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot to work through there when it is his time to go and I do lose him. But I know even at that, like, it's part of life, and it's part of this process, and it's part of what thank you. It's part of what I know is the next experience, and is the next part of what I'm growing into, right? And that doesn't make it easy. That doesn't make it simple. That doesn't make it easy. But I know that I'm not the only one that loses a parent. I know I'm not the only one who's going to lose a parent. And so I know that this is all preparing me for like the next step in what I teach and what I'm here to share, and because it's something all of us are going to experience at some point. So the part that I think I feel the most sadness around is feeling like I don't really know him, and that part sucks. It sucks to know that he's been kind of so closed off that I don't really even know who he is as a person, And I would ask him questions and things like that to try and because I'm a very curious person, and I like to know about people, and I can also read people, so I can get that understanding of him. But I would love to have, like, I want to know, like, I share this right now too with you to say that do this for your own kids. Like, even those audio, like I was talking earlier about the audio recordings, do that for your own kids so they can really know and understand, like, who you are as a person, who you were at 20, who you were at 30, who you were at 50 or 70 or whatever. Like, help them understand who you are. And like, I think that also, and not just like written or audio, but like verbally, like share stories with them and share who you are with them, because it's like, it really sucks. It really sucks not really knowing who this person is that brought you into this world. So give them that gift and let them in. Let them in and let them know who you are. And you do that by saying yes to yourself and making yourself a priority so you can heal whatever you've experienced that you're trying to hide, and you won't have to hide it anymore. And now my eyes are burning. Damn mascara. Does anybody know of any mascara that does not burn the shit out of your eyes when you cry? Because I need some. It's important. It's so important that we take care of ourselves, because like it's gonna catch up one way or another. It catches up with us, whether we're 40 or 70 or anywhere in between. And so heal your stuff, love yourself, and share who you are with the people you love. Like, don't hide yourself away from the people that love you. Again, I think part of this was, oh, great, thanks. See, just like that, you can cry and then you'll be fine the next minute. That's how it works when you just let yourself feel. But share who you are with the people you love. Like, let them in, let them know who you are, because it really sucks when the person who created you or who were part of that process, right? When you don't know as their child, like, who they really are, because you've just kept yourself so closed off and so protected. Like, let them in, share with them who you are. It's such a gift. And I'm so grateful that my mom very much shared who she is. But I'm sitting here now with my dad, knowing that, like, maybe not that soon, he may not be here anymore. And I know that we go on, and like, I know that, like, anybody knows that. And I trust that, but it's not the same as being able to be there and sit with them and have them tell you, like, who they are and what their experiences were like. So share who you are with the people you love, because it's so important. Whew. Okay. So again, know that whatever it is you are experiencing in your life is meant for you, and you will overcome it, and you will move through it, and you will then be able to go out and to share that message and share that with others in whatever capacity you choose to do that. But know that there is a purpose for you, and there's a purpose in all of it. Like, life is kind of like one big school, right? And we all have these lessons to learn. And I really believe that before we come here, we decide what lessons we want to learn. I think we choose our parents. Here's the thing, our kids are not from us. Like, yes, they don't belong to us. If that, it probably doesn't make any sense to a lot of you. But like, my parents, I chose my parents, right? So I could have the experiences. Oh, thank you, honey. I chose my parents so I could have the experiences I did, so I could have the path that I did, and so I could become who I was meant to become. So like, on a soul level, I feel like we choose who our parents are going to be, and we choose what our path is going to be. So it's why our intuition is always pulling us forward and pulling us closer to what that is and what that looks like. But it's our small self that comes in and has the doubt and has the fear and has like kind of, puts all the obstacles in the way because it's scary, right? Or it can feel scary. But we're here to listen to our intuition and our higher wisdom, because it's guiding us and it already knows where it's going. But we just gotta move the blocks out of the way and like hear it and get connected to it, so we know what step to take next. And this is part of it. It's like the lessons that keep coming up in your life, the ones that keep coming and showing up over and over and over again. Ask, like, what is the gift in it for me? What am I supposed to be learning here? Because if you keep experiencing the same lesson, it's because you're not learning from that lesson. As soon as you learn what the point is of that lesson, you won't have to experience that lesson anymore. So it's like this, it's kind of like you're going through school and you're graduating, each class. And so once you learn a lesson, you get to move on to the next class. Isn't that exciting? And it's just this whole process of just constantly like opening and growing and expanding, and each step leads you closer to your whole purpose in being here, to your path, to your journey. Like, you're already on your path. You just have to keep your small self at bay and let your bigger self lead. So, well, that was quite the live. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, for allowing me to express and to fully feel whatever was coming through me. And know that I just love you. And for you, my wish is for you to say yes to yourself, for you to say yes to really loving yourself and nourishing yourself and building that relationship with yourself, so that you can go forward on your journey and give your gifts that you were born to give. I love you all. Thank you for being here. And again, if you're needing any support yourself, know I'm here for you, and I love you. Mwah.